Dragnet.
The Jack Benny Program.
I'm that man. Matt Dillon, United States Marshal.
George Burns and Gracie Allen.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
We offer you Escape.
Follow Miss Brooks.
Suspense.
Richard Diamond, Private Detective.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Radio Theatre.
In the air.
Dedicated to man's imagination, the theater of the mind.
You know what our call letters WGN stand for, don't you?
WGN Radio Theatre.
The special 3-hour presentation
With Carl Amari and Lisa Wolf.
All right, about 8 minutes after 11 p.m. here on the WGN Radio Theatre program, 345 in the series. To my right, the vivacious Lisa Wolf. What's up, Lisa?
Hey, Carl, what's going on?
How are you?
I'm so good, thank you.
We have 2 Christmas shows, and we're going to start things off in just a few minutes with suspense, with Back for Christmas, Herbert Marshall, one of the best Christmas suspense stories of all time. You will love it, folks. Then it's The Great Gildersleeve, starring Hal Perry, in a Christmas night, December 25th, 1946 episode of Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve and Gang. But before all of that, we are going to talk to Dan Jaffe, the CEO of Oil Dry, and also Dave Weisky, the Vice President of Customer Success. And we also have Mike Costello, our executive producer, is here as well, because we're going to give away another year's supply of Cat's Pride kitty litter. Hi, Dave. Hi, Dan. How are you guys?
Doing great, folks. How about you?
Everything good?
Yeah, things are great.
Happy holidays, by the way, and congratulations. I'm wearing my Packer jersey. But since 2010, we thought we'd offer up a niblet to the Chicago Bears. So congrats on making the.
You look good in that. You could probably play some football yourself. Did you play football in high school or college?
I did not.
No. Dan, you
Rugby.
played baseball and some basketball, right, Dan?
That's about it.
All right. Well, tell us what's happening, the latest with Cat's Pride, our main sponsor here at the WGN Radio Theatre from day one. Cat's Pride has been our sponsor, and we thank Dan and Dave for that and the whole gang at Oil Dry, the parent company. So what's happening with Cat's Pride right now? It's having a booming year, right?
Correct, and I want to give out a hearty thank you to the listening audience, because certainly this is one of the ways that we've gotten the word out that we have great products at great prices, and our product is booming right now. It's flying off the shelves. We're actually having our biggest concern right now with accounts is just keeping it in stock. It is growing in high double digits, and so thank you, listeners, and let's keep those green jugs and the white jugs of Cat's Pride Scoopable moving, because they're doing very, very well.
All right, so let's talk about why it's doing so great, because if you don't know about Cat's Pride, if you're not using Cat's Pride, there's a big reason why, several reasons why. So let's go over that.
Well, first of all, it's our commitment to producing the absolute best products. This is a company my grandfather started in 1941. We shipped the first bag of cat litter ever in 1948, 49. I wasn't around, so I'll hedge there. And we now supply about a third of all the cat litter sold in America. We do a lot of private label. We do some product for other competitive brands, and then we do our own brand as well. So we're very focused on improving the quality, keeping our prices reasonable, and then lately really putting our heart behind our sales. And this came from my 20-plus years of service on the Anti-Cruelty Society here in Chicago. I've been on their board for over 20 years. We've always been donating all the litter that the anti-cruelty needs so that they can then dedicate dollars to helping dogs and kitties in need. And it occurred to me that we should be doing this on a national basis. But I just wanted to make sure that everyone else was as passionate about saving cats and dogs as I was. And so what I do is every time we sell a green jug of Cat's Pride scoopable cat litter, we donate a pound to a shelter. And Dave's going to have some statistics for you, but I think they're pretty startling. Shows how much we've sold and then how much we've donated this calendar year,
yeah,
Dave.
And it hasn't been, this program hasn't been in place that long. It's been, what, maybe a year, a little over a year?
Oh, no, it launched 1/1, so we're coming up to the end of year one.
Right. So how many pounds of kitty litter have you donated thanks to this program?
Currently, right now, we've got 3.6 million that have been promised. We're well over 4 million at this point in time as far as where we anticipate we're going to be. We're hoping we're going to land around 5 million.
Wow,
because things are really cruising. Yeah, and that is through the whole program. And again, when Dan mentions we donate a pound, we don't wrap up a pound and send it in the mail to the shelter. They accumulate nominations over the course of time. And actually, the last stats that Leah Kraft, our leader on this program, gave us was over 16,400 nominations have gone out to these shelters. And there's roughly 1,200 that have received nominations. So over the course of time, they accumulate pounds of donations, and then we basically send them real litter if it reaches over a full pallet quantity. And go out to www.catspride.com and check out some of the incredible videos that we've got out there with regard to the excitement of, some of the experiences of somebody actually receiving these goods. It's pretty awesome.
And our listeners that are listening to the program right now can participate in this. They just have to go to the website. They just join. It's free to join. And they could nominate their favorite shelter, anywhere in the country, really. And then that's how it works, right, Dan? So what's the exact way to do it for our listeners?
We always say it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Number one is you join the Cat's Pride Club for free. And by the way, our membership has exploded. We had 30,000 members in our first 25 years of existence. We're up to almost 60,000. We're at like 55,000 now. So It's almost doubled this year alone, which shows you the power of the campaign. So then once you join the club, you look for your shelter. If it's already there, just vote for it, and that'll give them a greater pro rata share of the 5 million pounds we're hoping to donate. If it's not there, you then do a write-in ballot, and you write them in, and then we reach out to them to get them approved and get them to put all their information in so they can start receiving free litter. And then step 3 is to buy as many green jugs as you need and can have, and tell everybody you know to buy green jugs.
So just to clarify, this is the Litter for Good program, because I don't think we actually talked about what this is called and how to identify it even when you're on the website. So that's one thing, that way that you are charitable is the Litter for Good program.
We're going to start calling you Litter for Good, Lisa.
Litter for Good.
LFG.
And why is this so important? Because the end result is it's actually saving cats' lives. Explain how that happens.
Oh, yeah. And when you see these videos, you'll see teary-eyed thank yous coming from these shelters, because people are pretty good about dropping off food or toys. They don't really think of dropping off litter. So these shelters are paying retail prices for litter. They're going to their local grocery store or Walmart or wherever and buying litter. And they use thousands of pounds a year to take care of the cats, because you've got to constantly be changing the litter box. And whenever you adopt one out, you've got to completely clean it out. So over and over again, they're using litter. So now by getting free litter, that frees up dollars that they can then put towards saving animals' lives. And here's the stark reality. Over 3 million cats go into shelters every year in the United States, and only about 1.5 million get adopted.
Yeah, it's really sad. Besides the fact of the Litter for Good program, we always want to work with you because your actual product is a superior product. We're not just doing this because you are charitable, which is so kind and generous, and one of the reasons that we appreciate your support and that we work with you. But your product is not like all of the others. It's different.
Well, we really are the only ones who control 100% of our mineral from processing, through packaging, through shipping. Everybody else is sort of hodgepodging. They're either, some of their own mineral, but buying a bunch, or just completely buying on the outside. So we truly can have that traceability where we monitor every lot, and we know that the quality's in every jug.
I just want to read a quick text that from a listener that just came through. A testimonial. It says, "Hi, Lisa. I finally became disgusted enough with the dusty cabinets and the cats having to choke on the litter dust to try the green jug, and it's incredible. I do not nominate my shelters. There's too many ways my information could be used, though, on the website." So I don't know if that's something that's valid for you, or if you can, if there's fears out there. I don't know. But in any case, they love your litter and they love your green jug.
That's awesome.
All right, so we're going to do what we've been doing since day one. Dan has been so generous to give one of our listeners a year's supply of Cat's Pride kitty litter, a terrific, terrific gift, especially if you own a cat, which I hope you do if you're going to win. But, to do this, you have to send in a picture of your cat to be eligible to win, and we get tons and tons of pictures of cats, and Dan is going to do that right now. He's going to choose one of our lucky listeners.
We got it. There we go.
There's the drum roll. I'll fish around in the lucky bag. I'll see what I came up with. Okay, we have Courtney and Mike Gabbard and their cat, Wally? Maybe Wally?
Wally. That
from
looks like
Paris,
a Wally.
Kentucky. I'm going Wally.
Wow.
From Paris, Kentucky.
All right. Well, so you are a winner.
Awesome.
And
nice
folks,
applause.
Just to enter for next month, because Dan comes here and does this every single month, just send a picture of your kitty cat to us here at catspridephoto@gmail.com. We need the name of your cat and your name and your city and state. All right, well, we appreciate you guys very, very much. You're doing a great thing out there, and I'm so glad to hear our business is booming. And we thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and happy holidays. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you guys.
Same to you guys.
Yeah, thank you. We really appreciate the Radio Theater, the WGN Radio Theater, and Out for Christmas is really one of the best
that's a good one.
So you're going to love it.
That's coming up pretty soon here. Let's take a quick break, then we'll be right back. This is the WGN Radio Theater. I'm your host, Carl Amari, here every Saturday and Sunday night, bringing you the best in classic radio, and we have a wonderful Christmas suspense episode for you now called Back for Christmas. This was done a few times on Suspense. Very popular episode. Different actors played this lead role, and I'm trying to think. Peter Lorre was the first one that did it, and then pretty sure Paul Frees did it, but this particular episode stars Herbert Marshall, right, Mike?
That's correct.
All right, let's go back to December 23rd, 1956. Here's part one now of Back for Christmas on Suspense.
Suspense. And the producer of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, William N. Robeson.
We pause now for a little murder, for a slight case of uxoricide. We turn our attention to blood, as Herbert Marshall stars in Back for Christmas, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Happy, Mrs. Carpenter?
Deliriously, Professor Carpenter.
Well, then how about another glass of champagne? Nothing goes better with a happy bride than a glass of bubbly.
Nothing? How about a happy husband?
That you have. To us.
To us. Forever.
Darling.
Oh, Herbert, I'm afraid it's all a dream, and I'll wake up any minute and find myself back in that drab little bookshop in Leicester Street, searching for obscure volumes for absent-minded professors.
Oh, so that's what you thought of me.
Oh, not you, Herbert. You were different. I felt it the first time you came into the place.
Premonition, second sight. You knew at that minute, I suppose, that I would whisk you off to America and make you my wife.
Well, not exactly, but I'm awfully glad you did.
Do you think you like America?
I love it.
I thought perhaps after this lecture tour is over, I might try to find a connection at some college or other and just stay on. What would you say to that?
I say, wherever you are is where I want to be.
Now, who in the world? Who is it?
Bellboy, sir.
Just a minute. Yes, what is it?
A letter, sir, for Mrs. Carpenter.
For Mrs.? Here, let me have it. Here.
Thank you, sir.
A letter for Mrs. Carpenter? Herbert, you were a widower, weren't you? I mean, Hermione isn't still alive.
What? Heavens, no.
But that letter... No one back in England knows that I'm married.
Let's forget it, shall we? And have another glass of wine.
I've often wondered what she was like.
Who?
Hermione. You never told me anything about her.
I'd just as soon forget her, but she's not an easy woman to forget. Dominating. Always managing things, the house, my wardrobe, my friends. You might say she managed herself to death.